Good morning, students. I welcome you all to yet another session of 10th Standard Biology. Today, we continue with lesson number 8, How do organisms reproduce, part 6. Now, students, in part 5, we studied about the male reproductive system. We studied about testis, and we studied the testis is present in a bag-like structure called as scrotum. We saw that how vas deferens will help in the transport of the sperm. Correct? We studied about the reproductive fluid of male, that is the semen, which is secreted by the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland. We studied about the organ called as appendix, which will help in transferring the sperm into the female reproductive tract. Okay, so this was what we had done in the male reproductive system. So in today's session, we will start with the female reproductive system. Okay, I just explained to you that how is the female reproductive system. For that, I will just enlarge the picture. Now, this is the diagram of the female reproductive system. Now, the female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovary. Now, can you see I have marked a pair of ovary. Now, ovaries are the primary sex organ. The ovaries are the essential sex organ. The ovaries are responsible for the production of the female gamete, which is called as the ovum. At the same time, the ovaries also secrete the hormone called as estrogen. This is a hormone which is called as estrogen. The estrogen controls the secondary sexual characters in females. The estrogen controls the secondary sexual characters in female. Okay, so you know that the ovaries are the primary sex organ. It is the essential sex organ. It is the organ which produces the female gamete, which is called as the ovum. Other than that, it produces the hormone called as estrogen, which controls the secondary sexual characters in case of females. Now, there is a peculiarity about the ovary. Now, when a female child is born, right at that time, at the time of the birth itself, the ovary contains around thousands of eggs. That means when the child is taking birth, the female child is taking birth, at that time only the female child is having the eggs in the ovary. But the eggs which are present in the ovary will start maturing only after the time of puberty. Now, what is puberty? Puberty is nothing but the sexual maturity in the human beings is called as puberty. Puberty occurs in males as well as females. When puberty occurs in case of females, at that time, in every 28 days, one egg will start maturing from the ovary. But the egg has been present in the ovary since the time of the birth of the female child. Okay, so you can see once again, these are the ovaries. So now we will look into the reading part. Female reproductive systems. Ovary are the essential reproductive organ. It produces the female gamete ovum. When a girl is born, the ovaries already contain thousands of immature eggs. On reaching puberty, some of these eggs start maturing. One egg is produced every month by one of the ovaries. One ovary, either the right ovary or the left ovary, releases one ovum in 1 month. That 1 month is equal to 28 days. That you will understand when we will study the reproductive cycle. I hope you have understood that the first part, that is ovary. So now we go to the next slide. Now in the next slide, we are going to study about the next part of the female reproductive system. The next part of the female reproductive system is called as the oviduct. It is called as the oviduct, or it is also called as a fallopian tube. Can you see the oviduct or the fallopian tube is in close contact with the ovary? Students, you already know that the ovary is responsible for the production of the ovum, that is the female gamete. The ovum, after it is released from the ovary, the process of releasing the ovum from the ovary is called as ovulation. The process of release of the ovum from the ovary is called as ovulation. After ovulation, when the egg or the ovum is released from the ovary, the ovum is collected by a tube-like structure, by a duct-like structure, which is called as the oviduct, or which is called as the fallopian tube. Now the egg will wait in the fallopian tube fertilization will take place in the fallopian tube. That we will see it in the next slide, how the egg is going to wait in the fallopian tube and how the sperm will come to the fallopian tube and how fertilization will take place in the fallopian tube. That we will see in the next slide. Okay, so we have completed with ovary and we have completed with oviduct or the fallopian tube. The next very important part of the female reproductive system is the uterus. Can you see a triangular structure over here? This triangular structure over here is called as the uterus. Now uterus is a very important part. Can you see both the fallopian tube? Can you see both the fallopian tube are opening into an elastic bag which is called as the uterus. It is elastic and it is muscular. It is in the uterus that the embryo is going to get attached. The embryo will get attached to the uterus. And the uterus is the one which is going to support the embryo for 9 months. At the same time, it will provide nourishment to the embryo. So this is the function of the uterus. Okay, so now we will see the reading part. You can see here, students, this is the uterus. This lower part of the uterus is called as the cervix. This lower part of the uterus is called as the cervix, and the cervix opens into a canal which is called as the vagina. Okay, so this triangular part is the uterus. The lowermost part of the uterus is called as the cervix. The cervix is opening to the outside by means of vagina. Okay, vagina, how it is functional, that we will see in the next slide. So what is the cervix? The lowermost end of the uterus is called as cervix. Now, oviduct or fallopian tube. On either side of the uterus is the fallopian tube. The egg is transported from the ovary to the womb through the thin oviduct or fallopian tube. Uterus. The two oviducts unite into an elastic bag-like structure known as the uterus. The uterus opens into the vagina through the cervix. We saw that the lowermost part is called as what? The lowermost part is called as the cervix, and cervix will be the beginning part, the ending part of the uterus and the beginning part of the vagina. The uterus help in the implantation. Implantation means sticking of the embryo. Suppose if this is the uterus, the embryo will stick onto the wall of the uterus, and the sticking of the embryo to the wall of the uterus is called as implantation. By means of implantation, the uterus is going to provide support to the embryo, at the same time provides nourishment to the embryo. Okay. So students, you can see this is the ovary. The ovary is going to produce the ovum. The ovum is collected by the fallopian tube. The fallopian tube, the fertilization will take place, and the fallopian tube will transport it to the uterus. In the uterus, if the egg is fertilized, it will get implanted. You know what is implantation? Sticking of the embryo to the wall of the uterus is called as implantation. You know that the lowermost part of the uterus is called as cervix. The cervix opens into a narrow canal which is called as the vagina. So these are the parts of the female reproductive system. So we have studied about ovary, we have studied about the oviduct or the fallopian tube, we have studied about the uterus, we have studied what is the cervix, that is the lowermost end of the uterus, and we have studied about vagina, which is a canal. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide. Fertilization and implantation. Now what is fertilization? The definition remains the same. Fertilizing the union of the male gamete with the female gamete is called as fertilization. And what is implantation? Already I defined implantation. Sticking of the embryo to the wall of the uterus. This is the wall of the uterus and this is the embryo. The sticking of the embryo to the wall of the uterus is called as implantation. Implantation provides support and nourishment to the developing embryo. Okay, now here I will just enlarge this picture so that it is very clear to you, and I will explain here. Yes. Now students, this part is the vagina. This part is the vagina. It is into the vagina that the sperms are released. So the sperms are released in the vagina and the sperms will remain in the vagina. Slowly some of the sperms are going to swim and it is going to move towards the fallopian tube. The sperms will swim to both the sides to find out where the ovum is released, because you know that the females have a right ovary and a left ovary, but the thing is that only one ovum is produced per month. So either this ovary will produce the ovum or this ovary will produce the ovum. So ovary will be producing the ovum. You can see here, these are the ovum and this is the sperm. The sperm is coming here to fertilize the ovum. I had already mentioned that fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube. After the fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube is going to transport the zygote into the uterus, and inside the uterus implantation will take place. I hope you have understood. I will explain once again. Students, this is the vagina. At the time of sexual intercourse, the sperm the sperms are deposited in the vagina. Slowly from the vagina, the sperms will swim and it will enter into the fallopian tube. It will go to both the sides searching for the ovum. But you know that out of the two ovaries, only one ovary will release the ovum in 1 month. So here it is. So it is searching here. So you can see these are the ovum which is released by the ovary. So the sperm is coming. Fertilization will take place. After the fertilization takes place, the zygote, which is a product of fertilization, is driven to the uterus. So who will be driving that fertilized zygote to the uterus? It is the fallopian tube. And the zygote, after it comes into the uterus, it will get implanted. What is implantation? Sticking of the zygote to the wall of the uterus to get support and nourishment. Okay. So this is regarding fertilization as well as implantation. Process of fertilization. The sperm enters through the vaginal passage during the sexual intercourse. They travel upwards and reach the oviduct where they may encounter the egg. The fertilized egg or the zygote gets implanted in the lining of the uterus and it will start dividing. When the zygote will start dividing, at that time its zygote, which was a unicellular structure, will now become multicellular, and now the zygote will be called as an embryo. Okay, so it will start getting implanted and slowly it will get converted to form an embryo. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you have understood fertilization and implantation. Let's go to the next slide. Yes. Now students, I had already mentioned to you the function of the uterus is implantation. And implantation, I mentioned to you that it is responsible for providing nourishment and support. So you know, when the ovary is going to release the ovum, at that time some preparation is done in the uterus. Okay. Now basically the uterus appears like this. This is the uterus. Okay. Now slowly, so this is a normal uterus. Now it has to undergo preparation. Okay. So you can see here students, these are the linings of the uterus. You can see. So see this diagram very clearly. Here. Okay, these are the lining of the uterus here. Okay, there is no darkened structure. So this is a normal uterus. Now it is a time for ovulation. When it is a time for ovulation, what is ovulation? That is the release of the ovum from the ovary is called as ovulation. When it is the time for ovulation, at that time you know the uterus know that who is going to come. The fertilized ovum is going to come. So I should provide a nourishment and support to the fertilized egg. To provide support and nourishment to the fertilized egg, can you see the thickening in the wall of the uterus? Can you see the red colored thickening in the wall of the uterus? This is a special wall which is made in the uterus. This is a special wall which is made in the uterus, which is highly vascular. Highly vascular means richly supplied with blood vessel. This wall is richly supplied with blood vessel. Why this wall is richly supplied with blood vessel? Because the zygote is going to get implanted over there. So the zygote should get ample amount of nourishment. So it is richly supplied with blood vessel. So this is the way the uterus is preparing itself for the fertilized ovum. See here they are showing here in the white color. This is the ovum. It is going to be released. This is the fallopian tube. Slowly the ovum will move and it will come and it will gain attachment in the uterus. And the uterus has made all the preparations. Okay. But unfortunately, what has happened is the ovum is not fertilized. That means the sperm has not come. The sperm has not come. The ovum is not fertilized. If it is an unfertilized ovum, it will never get implanted. Implantation is there only for the fertilized ovum. Unfertilized ovum will not get implanted. So in this case, the sperm has not come. Fertilization has not taken place. So it is an unfertilized ovum. Since it is an unfertilized ovum, whatever preparation was carried out by the uterus, that lining of the uterus will be slowly broken down. And this when the lining of the uterus is broken down, there will be discharge through the vagina. There will be discharge through the vagina in the form of blood. And this discharge to the vagina in the form of the blood is called as menstruum. It is called as menstruum, which we will be studying in the next session. So here now what is there? Since the ovum has not come, whatever preparation is done, that is going to be removed off. So you can see the blood oozing out through the vagina over here, and you can see the preparations are being broken over here. Once the preparation is broken, again the uterus will enter into this particular stage. Now what is the uterus going to do? Now the uterus is going to prepare itself for the next month. So next month this ovum is going to release out the this ovary is going to release out the ovum. So again what will happen? It will prepare itself, okay, to receive the ovum. In case if the ovum is unfertilized, again whatever preparation is done, that will be broken and there will be menstrual flow, or which is called menstruum. This bleeding will take place. So this bleeding will take place on every 28 days if the ovum is unfertilized. In case if the ovum is fertilized, in that case the ovum will get attached to the wall of the uterus. There will be formation of a special structure which will be called as placenta. We will deal with placenta in the next slide. I hope you have understood the students. This is a graph which is showing you that structure, that is the thickening of the endometrium. Here you can see there is maximum thickening of the endometrium, and here there is shedding of the endometrium. Is that blood layer is called as the endometrium. Here it has been thinned out, and here again it will be prepared. Okay. The uterus prepares itself every month to receive and nurture the growing embryo. The lining thickens and is richly supplied with blood to nourish the growing embryo. Okay. So that was the function of the uterus. Okay. Now let us see the next part, that is placenta and its function. As I mentioned to you before that, in case if the ovum is fertilized, the ovum will get attached to the wall of the uterus. And when the ovum gets attached to the wall of the uterus, it is called as what? Implantation. Now after implantation, a part of the uterus will become a nourishing tissue. When I say part of the uterus, let me tell you that part will be some part of the uterus and some part of the fetus. Both of them are going to come together to form a disc-shaped structure. And this disc-shaped structure is called as what this disc-shaped structure is called as the placenta. Can you see the placenta here? Can you see the disc-shaped structure? Can you see this is a placenta? This will be a part of the uterus. At the same time, it will be a part of the fetus, that is, it will be a part of the child. If a placenta is the only structure which is shared by the mother and the child, a part of the placenta is contributed by the mother, the part of the placenta is contributed by the fetus. Okay, now what is the function of the placenta? The placenta provides the nourishment and gather nourishment, that is food materials, to the fetus. Fetus means the developing child in the mother's body is called as fetus. Okay, at the same time the placenta will help in collecting the waste which is produced by the child. Okay, so to have the maximum area for the placenta, what is there? The placenta is folded. You can see that there is a folding of the placenta, and this folding of the placenta is called as what? It is called as villi. The folding of the placenta is called as villi because the area is very, very less. Okay, so again just show you this. This is students, these are the villi. Okay, as I told you, it is a part which is contributed by the uterus and a part contributed by the fetus. It is the part which is, it is the only part which is shared by the mother and the fetus. Okay, now you can see how the child is present in the uterus. Here this picture which I have shown, the child is ready for birth. So this is the cervix, this is the cervix. As it is a time for birth, the cervix is widened and through the vagina the child will come out, because of which the vagina is called as the birth canal for the child. Okay, here the photo, the image which is there at the upper part, here the child is developing, whereas here it is ready for birth. It is ready to come out of the mother's body. Okay, now we do the reading part. The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called placenta. This is a disc which is embedded in the uterine wall. It contains villi on the side of the tissue. On the mother's side are the blood spaces which surrounds the villi. I told you it is a combination of mother's side and the fetus side. Okay, fetus means developing embryo will be called as a fetus. The villi provide, so here again there is a diagram of the fetus, and you can see this part is that of the uterus and the fetus here. Again you can see the villi very nicely over here. Okay, yeah, for fetus to mother. Fetus will give what to the mother, throw away what to the mother? Carbon dioxide, urea and hormones. Okay, what mother will give the fetus? Or nutrients, oxygen, antibodies, vitamins and water. See, so these are the food supply and this is a collection of the waste. The villi provides a large surface area for glucose and oxygen to pass from mother to the embryo. The developing embryo also generates waste substances which can be removed by transferring them into the mother's blood through the placenta. The development of the child inside the mother's body takes place approximately for 9 months. The child is born as a result of the rhythmic contraction of the uterus. There will be slow rhythmic contraction of the uterus, which will slowly expel the child out through the cervix. The cervix will widen and the vaginal canal will widen and the child will be expelled out of the mother's body. Okay, students, I hope you have understood. This marks the end of this session. Now let's look into the assignment questions. Okay, assignment questions. Describe the female reproductive system. So you have to describe about the ovary, you have to describe about the fallopian tube or the oviduct, and you have to describe about the uterus. Write short note on fertilization and implantation. I hope all of you have understood fertilization. You know that it takes place in the fallopian tube. Okay, for union of the male gamete and the female gamete it is. All of you know about implantation, sticking of the embryo to the wall of the uterus. Next is placenta. You know that the placenta is a part of the uterus which is disc shaped, which provides nourishment to the developing embryo, at the same time collects the waste from the developing embryo. The placenta shows the presence of villi to increases the area of absorption. Okay, so this marks the end of this session. I hope all of you have understood this. Thank you.